Hey everybody. We are going to talk about place value. Now, this week and next week is all going to be review, okay? This is stuff that you have to master, that you have to know perfectly before you go to third grade. This is stuff that us second grade teachers want you to make sure you have a great grasp of before we send you to third grade. So it's very important that you practice these few days. You already know most of this stuff, but we want to do a lot of review for you. All right, so who remembers our little place value, Perry the place value robot? All right, so we are going to be reading and writing numbers in different ways. So some ways that we've done before are our number form. This is your standard form, okay? This is the way that you write numbers normally, okay? Right here. Then we can take that number and write it in base 10 blocks form, okay? So base 10 form. You can create the 300s, the 8 tens, and the 6 ones. Okay, then you can take it and you can expand it. You can stretch it out. How many hundreds, how many tens, how many ones, and write it in expanded form. Okay, and then we can also write a number in word form or even short word form. Okay, so today we're going to practice doing all of that. So take a second. What number is this? What number do you see right here? How do you know? How do you know that the number that you just said is the number that's written out right here? So let's count it up. So, what is this? This is 100. What is this? This is some tens. Right here we have 3 tens. And what is this? 6 ones. Okay, so we have 100. Let me write it up so you can see it even better. So you have 136. Okay, right here is the number 136. Okay, all right, awesome. Good job. So now, what number is this? How do you know? Well, let's count it up. We have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Right here is 100. Okay, so we're going to take these and make 100. Okay, so we're saying, all right, all these 10 tens are now a 100 block. Okay, imagine you squish them all together and they're now a 100 block. Okay, and that one too, sorry. Now you're left with how many tens? 10, 20, 30. You're left with 30 or 3 tens. And how many ones? 6. So what number is this? 136. 136, just like this one. So, boys and girls, if you remember, you can have a number written out the same way, or you can have the same number written out in different ways using different base 10 blocks. Okay, do you remember that? It should be a review. Okay, so what is the expanded form of 234? That's what we're going to do is write out the expanded form of 234. So who remembers how to do this? Okay, so get a pencil, get a piece of paper, pause the video, and do it yourself right now. What is the expanded form of 236? All right, let's do it together. So, when we do expanded form, this is when we stretch out the number and we add up the hundreds plus the tens plus the ones. So, let's do that together. How many hundreds do you have in 234? How many hundreds are in that number? 200. Okay, and we're going to add it to how many tens? 3 tens or 30. And we're going to add that to how many ones are in 234? 4. So that right there, boys and girls, is going to give you 234. 200 plus 30 plus 4 is the expanded form version of the number 234. This is the standard form. This is the expanded form. Do you remember that? Good job. All right, I have another one for you. What is the standard form of this? Of 9 plus 200 plus 10. What is the standard form of that? Well, what form is it in right now? This is expanded form. We want to put this in standard form. So do that for me right now. Pause the video and write it out yourself. All right, so we have 9 ones, 200s, so 200s, and 110. Okay, so do you see how it's all out of order? We need to put it in order. Okay, so what comes first? The hundreds, the tens, or the ones? The hundreds. How many hundreds do we have? How many hundreds do we have? 200. All right. How many tens do we have? We just have 1 10 to make 10. And then how many ones do we have? 9. We have 9 ones. So 219 is the number in standard form of 9 plus 200 plus 10. Do you see how it's out of order? We had to put it back in order when we created the number in standard form. This number is not 921. This number is not 921. You can't just pull the 9 down, pull the 2 down, pull the 10 down, and then make a number. It has to be in the right order. The 2 is in the hundreds, the 1 is in the tens, and the 9 is in the ones. Okay? Everybody make sense? All right, I have another one for you. Get your pencil back out. What's the written form of this number? 30 plus 6 plus 700 equals blank. What is the written form of that? Okay, so what you're going to do, boys and girls, you have to write out the number first to figure out what number this is. So first, I like to put it in standard form first. So what is the hundreds? How many hundreds do we have in this? 700. How many tens? 3 tens. And how many ones? 6 ones. So the number is 736. But the question is asking us to put it in written form. Okay, so let's write it out in written form. So we write 7 what? Hundreds. So 700. And what's this? 7. How would you say that number? Would you say 736? No, you would say, how do you say it? You would say 736. Okay, that number is 736. So there we have it in written form. Okay, guys? Good work. Now let's do some more. All right, so what I want you to do is take a pencil, pause the video, write all this out, and see if you can put these numbers in short word form. Now remember, short word form is when we take some numbers and have some words. Okay, so all of these are in short word form. So in the red, you have 472. All right, so if you were to write it out in short word form, you would write how many hundreds, how many tens, how many ones. Pause the video and do that right now. Okay, now for the green part of this. You have 3 hundreds and 5 tens. What number is that? In standard form, what number is that? Write it here. All right, and lastly, in the purple spot, we have blank hundreds, blank tens, and blank ones. And that's going to equal the same thing as 994. So remember, what's on this side of the equal sign has to be the same on this side, okay? So how many hundreds are in 994? How many tens are in 994? And how many ones are in 994? Pause the video so you can figure this out, y'all. All right, so how many hundreds are in 472? 4 hundreds. How many tens? 7 tens. How many ones? 2 ones. So you would write 4 hundreds, 7 tens, and 2 ones. That's how you write the number in short word form. Now let's do another one. 3 hundreds, 5 tens. Well, how many hundreds? 3. How many tens? 5. How many ones? Ooh, it's not written down. I don't know how many ones. Well, remember what your teacher said? If there's no ones written down, what are you going to assume? You're going to assume that it's just 0. So it would just be 350. All right. Now for the last one, 994 is the same as 9 hundreds, 9 tens, and 4 ones. All right, boys and girls, that is how that would work. Good job.